bacteria to go like fuck you up, you know? Okay, so urethra. Glands or the head or the tip of the penis, like a little outside.
And that's a region, right?
That's a opening.
Oh. Okay.
That's an opening. External urethral orifice is an opening. Okay, same thing on the, sorry. Female, it's just the opening. The bottom. Name this opening. Name this opening. Name this opening. Name this opening. Not to be confused with the vagina, which is behind prostate gland. This purple thing, this is the bladder, this is the prostate gland. This is the prostate gland, okay? The section of the urethra that's in the prostate gland is the prostatic urethra, okay? See that? Yep, prostatic urethra. Cool. And then once the urethra gets into the urogenital diaphragm, the little inch of it that's in there, not inch, it's like centimeters. The little like centimeters of it that's in there is the membranous urethra. Membranous urethra. Okay. And then the rest of the urethra in the penis, spongy or penile urethra. Your kidney, and your first thing that you have in here, we're gonna start with the renal artery, the red thing. Renal artery. Renal artery is gonna split into segmental arteries. So this is a segmental artery, and that's a segmental artery. It's just the split after renal artery. So renal artery splits into segmental arteries. If you remember arteries and veins, every time they split, they get a new name. That's why I'm going like that. Okay, and then segmental arteries are gonna go and they're gonna split into interlobar arteries. So interlobar, so they're in the lobes. Remember, the lobes. So remember, a lobe is half a column, a pyramid, and the other half a column. So in between the two lobes, if there's a lobe here, and a lobe here, in between the lobes is interlobar artery. Okay, and then interlobar arteries continue to arc over the pyramids, become arcuate arteries. Let's see it better on here. Arcuate arteries, or arcuate artery. Remember, this is just a big renal lobe. So arcuate artery. Okay, and then you have cortical radiate arteries, which are all these little lines that radiate up into the cortex. So cortical radiate arteries. All of these little lines.
And that's afferent?
Afferent, yeah. So afferent arriving, so blood is going to arrive through this, go through all of this junk, and then exit through your efferent arterial. Okay, so afferent is on the right. So if you're looking directly at it, you play patty cake with it, it's on the right side, or its right side, and then the left side is efferent arterial. Does that make sense? Yes. Cool. And then for the veins, we enter the kidney. Brisa, why'd you look like that?
Sorry.
What'd you do? Okay. Renal vein, entering in, renal vein. Okay, there's no such thing as segmental veins, so we just skip straight into interlobar veins. Am I going too fast?
No, you're good.
Good, okay. Interlobar veins, and then arcuate veins, they arc over the pyramid. Arcuate vein. And then cortical radiate veins, same thing, they radiate up into the cortex. Cortical radiate veins. And then you have venules, which would be like these things. Venules, okay?
Can you do the last two again for the cortical radiate veins?
It's like cortical radiate, probably be tested on this side because it's like clearer to see. And then once we like blow it up, this is a venule. And the reason it's a venule, if you remember from like circulatory, it's like arteries, arterioles, capillaries, and like venules, like our capillaries, venules, veins, right? So this is the capillary. So the next bigger thing out from that is going to be the venule. That's why that's a venule. Okay, this capillary network in the cortex is the peritubular capillaries. Okay, you can also see that here. Peritubular capillaries. Okay, versus when the capillary network is down in the pyramid or down in the medulla, vasa recta. So vasa recta here, and then vasa recta here. Remember, capillaries are where arteries and veins meet for gas exchange, etc., etc. So when they're connecting like that, vasa recta in the medulla, peritubular capillaries in the cortex. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It would be like the vasa recta through here.
Yes. Arterial, efferent, arterial, glomerulus is all the spaghetti. Yeah, yeah. The cortex. So, this is a renal corpuscle, that's a renal corpuscle, this is a renal corpuscle, renal corpuscle, renal corpuscle, renal corpuscle, renal corpuscle. This is a blown up renal corpuscle, so this whole thing is a renal corpuscle. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Renal corpuscle. The glomerular or Bowman's capsule is the outer lining of the spaghetti bowl. So like this.
A layer or no?
No, it's a structure.
So weird.
I know, right? Brisa. And then if it's gonna be on the blown up version, it's gonna be glomerular or Bowman's capsule. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Someone will fill him in, I hope.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
send
send
him
it
the
in
Okay, perfect. Capsular space. Oh,
That one doesn't come out.
it's where the spaghetti sits. That's the capsular space. So if you see stickers on the inside of it and it says space, capsular space. But if you see stickers on the inside of it and it says layer, capsular epithelium. It's talking about like the layer of cells. Little blue dots. So on this one they're not blue, but if you see like 32, and like you see how each squiggle on here like makes its own like cell. So each like squiggle cell is a podocyte. Okay, is a podocyte. On the other model, it's the little blue dots. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Podocytes. And then the renal tubule is like all of this. All of this like white stuff is renal tubule. Probably will not get tested on just renal tubule. It's like me asking what is this in his kidney. Just probably won't happen. You probably will get tested on the parts. So the renal tubule starts from the renal corpuscle. So the renal corpuscle is the little ball. And then, are you good? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So the renal corpuscle is the little ball. We'll start with this one because you can see it. The renal corpuscle is the little ball. The first part of the renal tubule to come out of it is the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal because it's close to the corpuscle, convoluted because it's squiggly, and tubule because it's a tube, a tiny tube. That's why this unit, huh?
How is this tested?
That's why this unit is easy because everything is just named exactly what it is. Like it's a proximal convoluted tubule. That's all it is. Okay. So then the proximal convoluted tubule goes into the nephron loop. The nephron loop is this whole up and down part, or down and up part. Just the down part, descending limb of nephron loop. Yep. Just the down part is descending limb of nephron loop. And then the up part is ascending limb of nephron loop. Like, isn't that so easy? Like, duh. Like, of course that's what it is. Like, very simple, very to the point. You got it. Okay? So loop of Henle is the whole up and down. Just the down, descending limb. Just the up, ascending limb. You'll learn in lecture they do different things. That's why they're differently named. And then you have, coming off of the ascending limb of nephron loop is the distal convoluted tubule. Better example is over here. Distal convoluted tubule. Distal because it's the farthest away from the corpuscle from like the way we started. Okay, so it's the farthest away from the corpuscle. Convoluted because it's squiggly, and tubule because it's a tiny tube. Distal convoluted tubule. You can also see distal convoluted tubule here. Bless you. So distal convoluted tubule is also this big green thing right here. Can you see that? Yep. Yep. So that's distal convoluted tubule. We know that because it's not coming directly, bless you, it's not coming directly out of the corpuscle, because the one that comes directly out of the corpuscle is proximal. You won't be texted proximal on this, but you could be given distal on this. Does that make
Is that
sense?
the one she said she likes to test it on
Yes.
here?
And then
Because
what's
Greece is evil.
Tricky.
And then on the
What?
wall would be this one.
He looks like it. Yeah. No prepuce on him. Prepuce is the medical term for foreskin. He ain't got that. Distal convoluted tubule. Juxtaglomerular complex is a region, okay, and it's this region that's like the connection point between the afferent arteriole, the efferent arteriole, and the distal convoluted tubule. This like joining region, juxtaglomerular complex. Complex because it's all of the things. Juxto means close to, and glomerulus, glomerulus. So the complex of all the things close to the glomerulus.
Juxtaglomerular.
Yeah, juxtaglomerular complex. After the distal convoluted tubule, all the distal convoluted tubules are going to drain into the collecting duct. That's this big long thing. And it's like one big collecting duct per period. You see like this little cupping area, that's the minor calyces. And the minor calyces will come together to make the major calyces. Renal pelvis.